Welcome back, my friends. I am Brian, and you are Chords and Notes Nation. Thank you so much for joining me today, wherever you are, whenever you are. This is going to be a new artist for this channel, Armored Saint. The song is Close to the Bone. This is the official video. It was put up 3 days ago at the time I am recording this reaction. I have heard of Armored Saint before. I've seen their artwork on t-shirts over the years, and I don't think I have ever listened to them. So this is a true first listen. I hope you guys enjoy. All right.
Yes, I hate you, but I hold it in. Keep my manners, it makes me spin. With tight lips, I'll run around. A reprisal pays by the pound. But I just keep it close to the bone. Inside I flash like a cyclone. Restrain my will, it's gut wrenching. I tried everything. I detest you, that's what I'm on. Hide my feelings under this cloak. With thin skin, I'm vulnerable. This libertine is unshakable. But I just keep it close to the bone. Dream of the day when I can be sold. Restrain my will and my tender soul. I need some governor. Come on, does it apply? I'm a passerby. This clairvoyant is so much more than an Emotion factory reset. Emotion factory regret. I wouldn't do that, you're slipping. Emotion factory talking profit. I forgive you, it's on the cheek. Take the high road, refuse to speak. With respect, I tune you out. This company ain't on my route. It ain't on my route. Oh, but I just keep it close to the bone. Swing back and forth, must I atone? Restrain my will and discontent. Can't turn away the money you spend. Keep it close to the bone. Inside I flash like a cyclone. Restrain my will, it's gut wrenching. I've tried everything. Everything. Close to the bone. I keep it.
Well, there you have it. They're keeping it close to the bone, folks. Wow, that was fun. Seriously. I had fun listening to that. I got lost in the music and I was just sort of wandering mentally. That's what happens when good music comes around. It just takes you places. All right, let's see. Lyrics. Wow, there's a lot of stuff under the description box here. I invite you guys to go to the original and take a look at it. I'm not going to go over everything. Um, when we start coming up with songs, I always say we can do whatever we want. Vocalist John Bush says, use all our influences through the years, diverse music that we listen to and love, and let that seep in and bring something new out of us. It leads us to something more adventurous. You know, that's a very poignant statement because it really is about how music influences your thoughts, how it influences your actions, especially when you create music. You have to have some sort of level of inspiration and influence. And let's see. What else does it say? Okay, Close to the Bone is a slamming hard rock heavy metal song. Yep, I agree. Diverse in both the vibe and the way it's arranged. It feels like an Armored Saint song that came out in 2026, and think that's really important. The lyrics came from trying to figure out how to work with people who maybe you don't see eye to eye with, he says. Hmm. Yes, I hate you, but I hold it in. Keep my manners, it makes me spin. With tight lips, I'll run around. A reprisal pays by the pound. You know, okay, let me just focus on a couple of things here. Um, First of all, lyrically, all right, what he said. Let's go with his summary because I'm reading the lyrics, and I mean, you heard them, you read them. So let's just go straight. Let's cut to the chase. Um, it's difficult, especially when you're working with someone, when maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's someone that you see a lot and have to um maybe accomplish goals with. Like maybe you go to, like me, I help teach at a martial arts school, and so I have students and I have teachers and instructors, and sometimes there are things that you don't see eye to eye on. There are moments in my personal life with family, uh, past relationships, working relationships, all sorts of any sort of human interaction is going to have moments where we don't see eye to eye because we think differently, we're wired differently. Our past experiences have brought us to different conclusions, and we find what works for us in life. Hopefully, there's this common thread of love and unity, but oftentimes, we're not even talking that deep. We're just talking about common conflicts that happen, common random conflicts based on whatever the situation is, and there is this, keep it close. You don't have to let everything out there. You don't have to let everyone know everything about you. Especially here in the Midwest, when we're we're kind for the most part. We're courteous for the most part, and getting to know one another is really at the core of building those relationships that are trustworthy and good. And oftentimes, I know I've experienced when you open up too much of yourself to the wrong person, even sometimes to the right person, it comes back at you, and there becomes this conflict. You know, the person to person conflict, and that's something that is always going to be there. You have to be wise and discerning on what you're going to allow people to know What windows are you allowing them to view into the home of your life? And which ones are you going to close off to them? So these conflicts are real. We all experience them. It's cool that they picked this kind of concept, or at least this idea to sing about, because it's. I don't think. Yeah, I've heard some songs kind of address it, but in a different way. This is more direct, straightforward, kind of goes along with the music. Speaking of the music, it was really nice. It was good heavy metal, hard rock. I like the fact that his voice isn't your or isn't your typical um, hard rock heavy metal voice where you're gonna find someone who's falsetto and just a cookie cutter example. It's a different voice. It's got a different vibe to it, and I like the energy in this song. They've been around for a while. You can tell. They're a little bit older. So this was a really good doorway for me to sort of put my toes in the water and see, do I like this? And I do. And I think it would be a good idea to maybe move forwards with some more Armored Saint. Of course, any suggestions from you guys will be taken into consideration. And of course, if you have specific reactions that you just absolutely have to have me do, follow the pathway in the description box below, because I work a couple of jobs, and I help teach at school on the weekends, and just sort of busy. So if I have to spend my time, I want to do it right for you guys. So if you have anything that you want, let me know. All right, that's all I got. God bless you guys. Jesus loves you. I will talk to you in the next video.